Good afternoon, friends. Successful people look at what worked, learn from what hasn't, set new priorities, and then move on. My friends, today I will talk on yet another issue, an important issue: how to recognize success in failure. Bill Gates, it's re-evaluated goals and revised, and you can bet he didn't do this all on his own. He asked his key people to help. Gates recognized that successful people to help Gates recognizing his own success. You don't see them dragging their failures into work with them every morning. Gates is where he is because he knows the importance of looking for the success in the failures. Ask yourself, my friend, this question: where are you focusing on your failures rather than your successes? Take one perceived failure and follow certain steps. You will get the answer yourself. Reevaluate, I say. Look at what worked well. Look at what didn't work well. Determine what you learn. Regroup and then revise. See the success and let go of the failures. Identify where to go next. Set new priorities. Revise your goals and do whatever it takes to get there where you want to be. How much you learn when you fail determines how far you go in creating success. Failure is a part of life, and most certainly part of any work, any business you do. We often don't acknowledge it, but failure is also a fundamental element in our success. Our instinct is to be ashamed of failures, maybe because we don't like how it makes us feel humiliated, as though we have done something wrong. But if you can shift your perspectives and look at failures not as something to be ashamed of, but something valuable, you can begin to understand that it's through failure that we truly learn to succeed. Sooner we stop shaming or shaming our failures, the easier it will be to turn them to our advantage. There are few things I'll discuss with you. We must ponder and think it over. First and foremost, I say mistakes are not a problem, but not taking the opportunity to learn from them is. Identify your mistakes and learn from them quickly. Many successful people have experienced some kind of failure and they build on those lessons. Learning to fail well means learning to understand your mistakes. In every mistake, there is a potential for growth. Be careful how you talk to yourself because you are listening. Self-talk can be, my friend, incredibly damaging, especially after a failure. Handle your self-talk and don't allow it to make you feel worthless, especially in the aftermath of a failure. Let it sting for a moment and do everything you can to stay positive and get back on track. My friends, remember, it's far better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing perfectly. The only true failure is doing nothing. Inaction puts everything at risk. When we do nothing, it means we are not moving anywhere. And that is a surefire way to stay in failure. All that is required for failure to triumph is for us to do nothing. We are products of our past, friends, but we don't have to let our mistakes define us. Even if the past did not go as we had hoped, our future can still be better than what we can envision. Too often we are afraid to talk about our past and our failures out of fear that they will define us. Let it out, but stay focused on what's ahead. The enemy of success is fear of failure. It's not failure itself that's so dangerous. It's a fear of failure that keeps us doing nothing. Like all fears, you conquer it by facing it down. And when the fear is doing nothing exceeds the fear of doing it wrong, that is when your true work begins. My friends, consistent action creates consistent results. Strength does not come from what you can do. It comes from mastering the things you once thought you couldn't do. So let yourself fall down, but learn to dust yourself, get up and move again. You can't be alone, and you don't have to. Sometimes our failures keeps us stuck in our old ways and we need to support to help us get past our bad habits. The worst thing we can do is to think we need to handle this alone. Find a coach, a mentor, a friend who supports you in your effort and has the experience to get you pointed towards your own success. Failure is the only way to grow yourself and grow your organization and institution you're working with, because ultimately it's how we learn to succeed. You look at the modern education system. The goal is to leave no one behind. As a result, a great many graduates have never been allowed to fail. This isn't because they're actually skilled or talented. It is because the system doesn't want them to fail or face failure. Without having a chance to fail, these students are deprived of one of the most powerful ways of learning. Without having a chance to fail, the students are taught to avoid failure, which means they avoid risks. Teaching students to avoid risk teaches them to avoid the very thing that can make them successful later in life. By recognizing your failures, you are better able to understand yourself. Also, by treating each and every failure as a learning experience, you can make failure a positive experience. Many individuals avoid action because they are afraid of failure. Taking steps towards minimizing your fear of failure can give you an advantage over others who have not learned to benefit from their mistakes. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people don't strive for greatness. By recognizing that failure is just part of the learning process, individuals can overcome one of the biggest roadblocks to success. My friends, take the time. My dear friend, sorry for the poor connectivity. Take the time to recognize all your failures. Don't simply gloss over them. Take the time to reflect on what went wrong and how you could have handled the situation differently. By doing this, you'll be able to grow in a way that many individuals avoid. This growth can set you apart from the average person and turn your failures are inevitable, but you have a choice on what to do with your failure. You can let it destroy you or use it as a springboard to make yourself stronger than before. Thank you very much.